Hi everyone, comic book reviewer here. This time reviewing on the 2017 film Power Rangers. Now, as you know, Power Rangers, or as it was also known as, Saban's Power Rangers, was a 2017 superhero film based on the concept of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And keep in mind that, yeah, the film was meant to be like a film reboot of the first episode, Day of the Dumpster, but of course trying to modify, alter it, and fit it into a sort of new audience. And after rewatching the film and going back to it again, the best way I can say about it is that it's a film that's trying to fit to a modern audience, but of course is suffering from the whole TV show from the whole Archie comics Riverdale, trying to be modernized, trying to make them like edgy teenagers that don't really need to fit into that sort of concept. So the premise of the film is meant to follow Jason, Zach, Kimberly, Trini, as well as Billy, who are a band of misfits living in a small traditional community of Angel Grove. We see how after something that happens to them, they learn about their power coins, their powers, and after finding the sort of being known as Zordon, as well as Alpha 5, they learn about the former Green Ranger, known as Rita Repulsa, who of course plans to sort of reawaken the sort of monster Goldar to get the Zeo Crystal. And of course, this leaves Jason, Billy, Kimberly, Trini, as well as Zach trying to work together while dealing with personal issues. Well, on pen and paper, it seems like it's a good idea rebooting Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but again, what the film suffers from is the whole Riverdale effect, trying to go more over dramatic, oh woe it's me storyline, like having Jason as kind of like the teen outcast who was the star quarterback, Billy kind of being the autistic loner, Kimberly kind of being this person who did cyberbullying, Trini who's kind of, yeah, questioning about her sexual identity, and Zach trying to look after her mum who becomes ill. Well, on pen and paper that's a good idea, but it feels more enforced and trying to fit to the same tropes that I think Riverdale as well as Velma suffered from. I think what made Power Rangers work as a TV show, you had more time to get to know the Rangers. You had more time to understand their personal struggles, see the way they were, and also see deep down that they always wanted to do what was best, but it was always not always going to work, and sometimes they just hoped people figured it out. I think there's a reason why West from Power Rangers Time Force felt believable. He did found his own path. He did hope his dad figured things out, and it felt more believable and didn't felt too enforced with Jason and his dad. I felt at least with Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, you got the sense that Mike just wanted Leo to be a bit more responsible and be a lot more matured. And you did see how Leo had to finally understand the consequences of seeing things more like a child and had to see things more realistically. I give the suits credit that they are trying to be a bit more realistic and trying to go with this different approach, a more armored style, the same with the Zords. I also think having Zordon being played by Bryan Cranston does work, as unlike the TV show one that plays more of a father, Bryan Cranston as Zordon is going to be a bit more stricter. He obviously knows he doesn't want Rhea to destroy Earth and see things happen again. Of course, he's going to be a bit more stricter. Of course, he has to be a bit more harder. So I think obviously it is trying to go more darker and edgier. It's trying to fit a tone that clearly feels too enforced, suffering from the whole Riverdale TV show effect. And of course, because of seeing things as a golden ticket, Saban had to sell the rights to Hasbro. Obviously, unlike Saban, who were trying to kind of go back to the old Mighty Morphin formula when they did Mega Force and Super Mega Force, I think Hasbro knew deep down, due to Power Rangers as well as Super Sentai getting way too gimmicky, they obviously had to reboot the series, given the fact that obviously Super Sentai got way too gimmicky, and adapting a sort of gimmicky Sentai series would be extremely difficult. And I know, obviously, the team behind Miraculous Ladybug, SAG Inc., were originally going to do a Power Rangers movie that never got off the ground. And seeing from how the animation went during season 1 and 5 of Miraculous Ladybug, and seeing how Thomas Astruck and the team had to go completely different with season 6, I think it was probably for the best, as Thomas Astruck is a smart guy. He obviously knows how the real world works, but some people just question his writing instead of understanding what he was trying to say. Again, is the 2017 Power Rangers film good? Yes, it's got its moments where it works, but a lot of it comes down to enforced writing, fitting things to an audience that didn't work, and of course, yeah, because of it underperformed at the box office, I can see why Hasbro had to sell the rights, seeing it as another failed project that clearly wasn't meant to be. So I think this one definitely deserves 2 thumbs in the middles. Not a bad idea for a reboot, but it clearly suffers from the whole Riverdale effect, going over the top angsty, fitting things to a new audience that clearly isn't going to be too interested. So, Comic Book Reviewer here, signing out.